Hello there, and welcome to Brian Lomax's Movie Talk and another episode of Gotham Talk. We're doing episode 9 now, of season 1. This is Harvey Dent, so it should come as no surprise to anyone who is a Batman fan that this episode sees the arrival of the character Harvey Dent, who obviously goes on to be Two-Face. So let's focus on him first, given that he is the title of the episode. The first time we see Dent in this episode, he is flipping his coin. I'm not sure how I feel about that. The fact that they hit us straight away with it. And that seems to be a tendency with this show. The first time we saw Catwoman, she was stealing milk. She mugged someone and stole milk from them. The first time we saw Edward Nygma, he started throwing questions out at, I can't remember who it was, probably Bullock, probably would have been Bullock. But yeah, you know what I mean? It's like when they bring these main characters in that we know from the comic books, it's like they instantly have to get right to the root of who they are as we know them to be, who they will become, so to speak. And I just kind of feel like you need to slow down with that a bit, It doesn't derail the episode or anything, but this isn't a bad episode. They could have come in a bit easier, I think, a bit slower with Harvey Dent. Because in this episode as well, we get a bit of a confrontation between him and another new character, this guy called Lovecraft, Dick Lovecraft. Now he's a from the look of it, he's a big businessman, but clearly some kind of mob ties, and he had a big stake in the Arkham deal that went down. But Dent is trying to trap this guy. He's trying to get him to show his hand, so to speak, because he suspects that he may have had something to do with the Wayne murders. But the guy barely threatens Dent. Barely. And Dent literally snaps like that and shouts in his face. And the performance seems a little bit overdone, but I wouldn't necessarily blame the actor. I'd blame the directing here. If I was the creators of the show, if I was behind the camera, I'd be saying, you know what? Let's tone this down a bit. Let's not be so full on, because you're a TV series. You've got time. You can build these things up. Let us see Dent as just a good man. No cracks yet. Let the cracks start to seep in later on. So yes, that's my biggest bugbear with this episode. I do have one more bugbear, which is Renee Montoya, Detective Montoya. Man, she annoys me now. I didn't like her at the start of the season because of how hard she was gunning for Gordon, and because of the whole relationship thing she had with Barbara Keene. And yeah, the past couple of episodes, she's won me over because she's admitted her mistakes. She's tried her best to make it up to Gordon, to be on his side. So the final scene in this episode, when we realise that Barbara Keene, she has left Gordon in this episode. She's gone off. You assume she's on her own, but no, she's with Montoya. They're in the final scene. They're lying in bed together, and I'm just like, this woman annoys me. She really annoys me. Like, it's two-faced is what it is. It's really two-faced. And my problem is I don't see Montoya as being that character. The Montoya I know from Batman the Animated Series and the Batman comic books, she wasn't that. She wasn't, I don't want to use the B word, but that's kind of what I feel like calling her at the moment. So yeah, that annoyed me. That really annoyed me, the final scene. Anyway, those are my biggest bugbears of the show, but it's still a good episode. There's a lot in here that I still really enjoyed. There's quite a few stories going on altogether. There's one with the Penguin. He breaks into Liza's apartment. Liza is the woman that Fish Mooney has hired to go undercover and get close to Falcone. Now, Penguin breaks into her apartment, sniffs around, realises that she is working for Fish Mooney, and then goes back to her apartment and essentially comes right out with, I know your game. I know that you're working for Mooney. I know that, Falcone would not be pleased. So basically he's trying to maneuver her now. He's trying to get her on essentially his payroll. And you can see she doesn't really know what to do. I have a little problem with their meeting because we've seen the training that this girl went through. You know, there was a point during when Fish Mooney was training her that she had to go toe-to-toe with her rival, with the other person up for the job, so to speak. And she was brutal. She took that other woman down, like, brutally. She could handle herself. She kicked 7 bells of crap out of this girl. You know, I have no trouble believing that she could probably take Penguin as well right now. You know, we've seen Penguin can be a bit psychotic, but he usually needs some hired help at his side in order to overpower someone. I think, yeah. So she's kind of turned into this wallflower, you know, this little wallflower, and I to me it's a bit of a betrayal of the character that we saw at the beginning of the series, where we saw she could easily handle herself. Other than that, I think what's his face? I can't remember his name. The guy who does Oswald Cobblepot. I think he actually gives one of his best performances here so far as this character. I think he's getting much easier in the role. He's taking quite a lot of relish in doing what he's doing. So yeah, I liked Oswald more than I've ever liked him in this episode. He's a bit of a snidey little git, and yeah, I liked what he did, like what the actor brought. My favourite parts of this episode, once again, are the stuff with Bruce and Alfred, and also Selina Kyle in this. Selina Kyle is staying with them. Gordon puts them with Bruce at Wayne Manor for her protection, because she claims she can identify the man who killed his parents, and so she needs essentially protection. She needs to go into hiding in case people find out. So they put her there, and I really love the relationship that develops just across this episode between Bruce and Selina. But more than that, also the stuff with Alfred and how Alfred interacts with the two of them. I love that he's training Bruce to box, and he's got no qualms with punching Bruce when he's not looking, just to keep him on his toes. But there's a really touching moment when Selina, who quite frankly Alfred isn't that endeared to for most of the episode, she manages to get Bruce to bring his walls down and start playing and smiling, you know, and they have a good laugh. And Alfred kind of, he walks in on it. They don't know, but he walks in on it and then kind of backs off. And the look on his face, this kind of satisfaction that actually this is the first time he's seen Bruce be a child for a long time. So, well, since his parents died, and you see what that means to Alfred as his current father figure, and it was a really touching moment, really heartwarming. My standout moment of this episode for me personally. But yeah, you know, there's some other stuff that's going on in here as well. This story with this bomb guy that I wasn't that interested in. It's all kind of centres around Fish Mooney's plans to hit Falcone where it hurts, which is basically his money. She destroys his money, or a lot of his money. It was fine, you know, it gave Gordon and Bullock something to do, gave us some action, but it kind of did show just how inept a lot of the Gotham City kind of security types are. I'm not sure if they were quite police, but yeah, they looked like police, or at least prison guards. A lot of them came across as really inept. This is a good episode. I think for me, primarily the stuff with Bruce, Alfred and Selina is what elevates it most. I'll give this a 3.5. Like I say, there are those issues that kind of do stand out. Some of them bug me. But yeah, there you go. So 3 out of 5 from me. But what about you? Have you seen this episode? And if so, what did you think about it? Comment below, let me know. And until next time, crack in.